Hi friends, welcome to my channel, and today in this video I am going to show you how to deploy RD connection broker highly availability on Windows Server 2012 R2. So what does it mean by highly available RD connection broker? So in this mode basically we are going to configure more than one connection broker at a time to provide fault tolerance for the RDS infrastructure. So we are going to configure basically two RD connection broker for one RDS farm which we are going to have. So let's see my demo environment to get the better understanding about the scenario which we are going to do now. So this is my demo environment. So basically the first machine we are using 6 virtual machines total in this demo. The first machine is Win2K 12 DC01. This is my Active Directory and DNS server. You can see my domain name is victorinfosol.com, and if I go here you can see Win2K 12 DC01 victorinfosol.com, and this machine having Active Directory and DNS role. And the second machine is Win2K 12 SQL Server. So this is basically going to be a SQL Server because RDS when we create a highly available RDS connection broker, we require a database which is going to be available on both connection broker servers. So we are going to create the database RDS database on a SQL server, which is going to be accessed by both the connection broker server. So this is the SQL server which we are going to install and configure in this video. So here is my SQL server. You can see this is SQL server and this is joining my domain. So this is SQL server, and next we have two RDS Win2K 12 RDS01 and RDS02. These are the two connection brokers. So you can see the IP address and those are joined in my domain. So you can see this is RDS01 and IP address is 192.168.1.231, and this is my second connection broker which is 192.168.1.232 and the RDS02. So this is my two connection broker servers, and at last we have two session of server which is Win2K 12 SH01 and SH02. So we can go here and see those servers also. So this is my SH01 and this is SH02. So we have total 6 machines in this demo which we are going to use. So let's do it step by step and see how we can do it, how we can create the highly availability for the RDS connection brokers. So click. So this is the infrastructure step by step task to deploy. So this is first task. We need to install RDS with a standalone connection broker and bring it in production. So I'm going to do it now. So basically we are going to create a RDS farm with a session host environment, so two session host server, and then bring it to production. So here is my RDS01, you can see. So the first thing we need to add servers here, so I'm going to add my session host servers here. So I'm going to type into K12 SH, and I have both the servers. So I'm going to create my RDS farm for now. So I'm going to click on add role and features. So I'm going to click on next. So I have added both session of servers. So remote desktop services installation, click next, and standard deployment, and I have to select session host session based desktop deployment to bring deploy as a session host. I'm not going to show you in this video for the virtual desktop base VDI base. So basically we are going to create a highly available connection broker, so you can create in the same way, either you are using a VDI or session host deployment. So click next, and you can see this is going to be install my session connection broker, web, and session host server role. So click next, and I'm going to select my connection broker server which is RDS01. So I'm going to add this and click next. On a web, I'm going to install the web role also on this machine. which is my RDS connection broker. So I'm going to tick mark this. So install the RD web access role on the same RDS connection broker server. So click next. Now I'm going to add my session host servers, SH01 and SH02. Click next. So now you can see it's saying the following server may restarted after the role installation. So because we are installing the session host role, so the server is going to reboot. So I'm going to click on deploy, and this will take some time, and then it will install the RDS role and all the three roles on a different server. So we have to wait for it. So let's do the next task, which we can do currently: create AD security group and DNS round robin for both connection brokers. So why we need a AD security group? Because I want to map my both RDS01 and RDS02 computer account in the same group, security group. So because we require to give access to our both connection broker servers to the SQL server. So I'm going to create one group here called RDSCB connection broker and click OK, and then I'm going to add members here. I'm going to add my computer objects, which is Ubuntu K12 RDS, and here is my both servers. So I'm going to add them. So both the computers account, which is my RDS server, having now added to this group, which is RDSCB. And let's do the DNS round robin. So if any server RDS is going to be down, it's going to connection broker is going to be down, it's going to redirect our session. So to create round robin, we need to create a host record and type RDS. I'm going to use this name, and I'm going to assign the IP address of my both RDS with the same name. So it's 231. We can add this, and same I want to add for RDS, and this time I need to put the second RDS02 IP address. So click add. So now you can see we have added RDS with both the names. So if I go now on my command prompt and I type ns lookup RDS, you can see both the machine is getting resolved IP address. So this is looking good. And if I do Ubuntu K12 RDS 01 RDS01, you can see 31 and 32. So this is looking good. So we have completed the second step. So let's go and check the RDSs. So you can see the connection broker and all three roles are getting installed successfully. So we can close this, and now we can go to remote desktop services, and we can see RDS01 having connection broker, RDS01 having web access, and both session host servers having session host role. So let's create one simple demo collection for session host and test it. So I'm going to call it like demo. I'm going to add my both the session host server here, and domain users I'm going to give access. I'm not going to use the profile disk for now. So create. So it will take some time. So everything looks good. It's successfully created the collection. So you can see now if I go here and refresh this and log into session host servers to verify. Okay, so now if I go here and refresh this, you can see it's showing the sessions, so it's good sign. Now we can go and test the RDS is working fine on our AD server. So I'm going to just take the console of and try to log into the one of the applications. So I'm going to publish few application on my session host server to make sure the RDS farm, to make sure the thing is going good. So I'm going to add calculator and WordPad and that just publish it. And on the browser I'm going to log into http colon slash slash RDS vector info. So this is my round robin, you can say round robin address, so it will take me to the correct site. So RD web, I'm going to click here. So continue to this website and then we have to type the domain name and then user and password for this user. Now you can see we are connected to the remote app desktop, so good, this is looking good. Let's launch the calculator and see if we are able to use this application. So basically I just want to verify that everything is working good in our environment and we are able to launch the application through the remote user. So to just make sure our connection broker and this RDS infrastructure is running well, so you can see now it's taking my sessions, so it's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to launch the WordPad, so you can see both the application is launched from this RDS farm. So you can see a small icon here which is showing the remote application. We can go here actually on our RDS server, refresh it. You can see our session administrator's session is coming on SH01. So if I go here on SH01 session host 01, I can see my session is coming here. You can see this is using like calculator and WordPad. So we have verified we have successfully installed and configured the RDS farm with session host deployment with the standalone connection broker. So it's working fine and everything is looking good in production. And we have also performed the second step, which is AD creation, group security group creation, and route robin DNS. So it's looking good. Now we can proceed with the third step, which is install and configure SQL Server. So I'm going to install my on my SQL Server. I'm going to install my SQL Server 2012 Express Edition. So I have already downloaded these tools. These SQL Express is a free. You can go to internet and you can download it from Microsoft side, and also Management Studio is free. You can go ahead and download it. So and you can see here, so click on install SQL Server standalone installation. Accept the license term. I don't want to check for Windows SQL product update, so that's fine. So it's going to take some time to verify all the installation file is correctly. So now it's going to install a database engine services, and these tools. So SQL Client Connectivity SDK. So let's go click on next. And I'm going to select the default instance, click next. I'm just going to check for disk availability space. Click next here, don't need to change anything, and here you can see our SQL server is SQL admin is added. So I'm going to click on next and just click on next one more time, so its installation is started. So let's proceed with the next step. We will come back on the fourth once the once the SQL server is installed. We will configure it and create the do the rest part. So the fourth step we can proceed with the which we need to do on both the connection book servers. So install client connectivity tool and SQL native client. So I have those in download folder, so I'm going to download it, install it one by one. So you can see the installation is finished. Install this now. So now if you go here and you want to check, you can go and check if these are installed or not. So just make sure you have a SQL Server 2012 native client, and this depend on the SQL Server which you are using. So let's install same on my second server, connection broker server. So it's good now. So we have completed this step successfully. So let's wait for SQL Server installation, then we will configure the SQL Server and configure SQL Server login for AD security group. So we have to wait for some time here. It's going to take another 1 minute, I guess. So this is done, so we can go and close this, and now we can go and install the Management Studio, which we can use to log into the server. Meanwhile, I'm going to install these two tools on my this server also, SQL Server also. So this is done, and I'm going to install. Okay, so it's saying upgrade. Yes, I want to upgrade my native client. So it's saying in use, so no problem, I can override it. So this is done, and it's saying your computer must need to be restarted. So okay, I will restart it soon. So let's install first configuration this Management Studio, and then we can restart our computer, and then we can proceed further. So it's saying restart failed, so we need to restart our computer. So let's do it. So I'm going to click on restart. So I'm going to log in back. And go to download and run the SQL Server Management Studio again. Yes, I want to run it. New SQL Server installer and installation. We need to install a Management Studio. So So everything looks good this time. We have rebooted the server, so it's going to pass. I don't want to include the updates. So I'm going to add feature in my last installation, which is MS SQL Server instance. So click next, and I'm going to install a management studio. So click next. Just click next, and then installation will start soon. So I'm going to pause the recording for now. It's going to take few minutes to get the installation done for this management studio, and then once the installation done, I will write back, and then I will start configuring the SQL Server required setting. So now management tool is installation succeeded, so we can go ahead and close this. Also we can close the SQL installation center, and now we need to go and configure the SQL Server logins. So I'm going to first configure SQL Server. So SQL Server connection manager I'm going to open, and we have to check like few things here in configuration manager, like services is running. And if I go here on client, you have to make sure everything is enabled on a native client, and everything look good here. And if you go here on SQL Server network configuration, you need to make sure TCP/IP is enabled, and this is saying you need to make sure the service is stopped and restart. So we make sure about that, and I'm going to enable name also. So this is good, and so everything is looking good. We have enabled the SQL Server protocol network configuration. So now we can go and restart the service, and then launch it. I'm going to restart one more time to make sure it's working fine. So now we can go ahead and minimize this, and we can launch SQL Server Management Studio. So click on connect, and then under the security we need to go here and new logins, and then we need to select our connection broker group, security group, which we have created. So I'm going to select RDSCB, and you can see here RDSCB is selected, and then we need to go to server role, and we need to assign a permission DB creator, and that's all is good. Now we can click on OK, and one more time we have to go here and verify the security is correct. So DB creator is provided and everything is good, so we can go ahead. And so we have created completed the third step also and fourth also, so we can go and configure the highly availability now. So I'm going to click on my RDS01. So click on remote desktop services, and then we have RDS connection broker. So I'm going to right click, configure highly availability. So here you can see the few prerequisites. A Microsoft SQL Server is with right permission for all RDS connection broker, which we have done, and native client installed. So we have native client and static IP configured on all the RDS connection broker. It's done, and RDS DNS record for to create for all RDS. This is also done. So we can click on next, and here it's asking few details. So it's the DNS read robin. So we have created, I have this details here. You can go and put here, and you can see the SQL Server data path. So folder to store a database, basically this is coming from my SQL Server. So if I go here on my SQL Server and under the C drive, program files, and MS SQL, then MS SQL 11, and then SQL, then data. So this is the path which I'm giving here on my folder to store database, and the database SQL connection, database connection string. So here we have, so string it requires common string. So we have a native client version which is 11. So if you want to verify the native client version, you can go here and you can basically type ODBC, and you can see here, if you go to if you go here on system DSN and click add, so you can see this native client 11 is installed. It's saying native client 11, so you can see so it's good to have here. Also, if I go on version in add and remove program, you can see which native client is installed. So this is Windows Server 2012 native client, so it's having version 11. You can search on internet, Microsoft having an article on this, so also you can match from this. So I'm going to, and this is the server name which we have, so Win2K12 SQL, and we have a database name RDCB which I'm going to use. So I'm going to just copy it and paste it here, and then click next, and then it's giving the string name, string detail, database location, and the DNS redrobin. So click on configure and see. Now it's configure highly availability in progress, so it will take some time to enable the highly availability. Then this, you can see this RD connection broker role is going to be changed to highly available mode. So this is succeeded, and now we can actually go here and click add RD connection broker, and we can click next, and we are not be able to see our RD connection broker here. So before this, we need to go to manage and add our server RD connection 02. I'm going to add RDS 02 and click OK. So it's added now. Now we can go and add the connection brokers in a second, RDS 02. So click next. So now we are performing this add second connection broker in RDS deployment. So click add. So now it's going to install this. So it's going to take few more seconds to get the installation done. So now connection broker role is finished and is succeeded. So now we can go here and refresh this, and we can see we have now two connection broker, RDS 01 and 02. And one more thing I recommend here, to add a RD web access also on this machine. So we are going to have a two web server also. In case RDS 01 goes down, we have a RDS 02 to give users access to the RD website, where user can access um, the published application, and then they can use it. So we have installed RD connection broker and RD web app on both the connection broker servers. So now it's time to switch from one connection broker to another and see how it's going. So just allow some time to get this installation done. Then we can switch the setting, switch the connection broker from 01 to 02. So it succeeded. Click on close, and now you can see here the RD connection broker role is running on RDS01, and we can go here and set active RD connection broker from here, and we can see the 2 is now showing, RDS02 is showing here. So we can click on set active, and it's going to immediately take the effect. So it's going to move the active role from RDS connection broker 01 to 02. So just wait for a few more seconds here. So you can see it has been switched. Now if I go here, you can see it's showing the RDS connection broker 02. And if I go to edit deployment, you can see the highly availability configuration also here. So this is how it's look like. So we have tested by switch. So this is all about how to deploy RDS connection broker highly availability on Windows Server 2012 R2. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe me for more videos. And if you have any question, any query related to this, you can always post me on my given mail IDs. Thank you once again. Bye bye.